Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how I do my brows. This is actually an updated version of how I do my brows, and today I'm going to be using the Got2B glue gel for brows and edges. To start the process, I'm going to be brushing the brows up using an old spoolie that I have. So I just brush them up to just give them shape. I do shape my brows at home, and I'll actually maybe just wait for them to grow up a little bit, and then I'll show you how I use to trim and shape my brows. They're not perfect, but it works for me. So I just brush up the hairs using an old spoolie. Like I mentioned, the product that I'm going to be using is the Got2B glue for brows and edges. It has a glue-like consistency. It's very sticky and it has that off-white color. And to start with, I'm going to be taking a little bit of a product and just brushing it into my brows. Don't take a lot at once, just take little and you build it up as you go. As you can see, I'm brushing up the brows to just evenly distribute the product. Then, to ensure that the product is distributed evenly and it's going to make my brows to lay down very well, I'm going to be combing the brow hairs down as well and just applying the product. As you can see, it has a little bit of a white sticky residue that gets left behind. You don't have to worry about that. When you're done with the brows, you'll just wipe that off. And just take your time to apply the product so that it applies very well, because once it dries down you will not be able to apply any more product. So just take your time. And when you feel that the brows are, a bit tacky, the glue is just drying down a bit, you just go in and you press with your fingers. You can even use a spoolie as well to press in the brows, but I just use my hands, but you can use whichever you prefer. And once you're done with that, because the hairs are just standing up, you just need to give them a little bit of a shape, and you use the spoolie to just brush down the edges to give your brows a little bit of a shape. As I said, you just need to take your time. If you feel like there's a process that is not being done correctly, just go over and just apply the glue if you can. If it's still not like very much dry, you just apply the glue, reapply it, and shape your brows as you want. If you like them all fluffy and not shaped, you can go ahead and leave them, and you don't have to do the step of shaping them. You can just brush them up and leave them as they are. Okay, now I'm just happy with the way it is now. So what I'm going to be doing going in is just filling in the sparse areas. Well, as I told you, I can't see, so I think putting my glasses on normally helps me to just do the process better. And sometimes you'd find that the pen will hit against my glasses, so I have to take them off again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using another brow pencil doesn't have a name. So I'm just going to be drawing a line just to show where I'm going to be start filling in, so that at least I don't go past that line. So I'm going to be drawing that line on both brows, which will be defining the shape of my brows. And then I'm going to go in with the Essence brow pencil, and I'm going to be filling in those sparse areas. I don't know if anybody else struggles with, shaping the other brow. I always find it easy to do the right one, the right hand one, but then when I have to do the left, it kind of becomes difficult. So yeah, I've filled in both eyebrows now, and I'm just going to be slowly going in with a pencil to just fill everything in. And I'm going to be using the Essence tiny tip brow pencil and just filling everything in. So you just want to be drawing strokes that are going upwards, that are imitating or more or less similar to your brow hairs, so that at least they look all natural. And yeah, fill in those areas as much as you can, depending on how dark or how light you want them to be. And yeah, just fill them in. Because your brow hairs at the front just stick up a little bit, you just want to go and draw those hairs up as well, just to give your brow that natural shape. Other people draw boxes, so guys, please do not do that. Our eyebrows are not shaped like that naturally. Don't draw hairs that just look like a box in front. So just to disperse the product a little bit, if you feel that you've applied it too much, just go in with a spoolie and just try to just, tone down the brow pencil to make it a little bit lighter. And just comb through your brows with a spoolie. You can do whichever other way that works for you, but this one works for me. And I'm actually interchanging between the other pencil that I have, because this one has a very tiny tip and it's not a liquid, so it's easier to just assist to fill in the other areas, because the Essence one, it's a liquid pencil, and sometimes when you apply it, it just applies a little bit too much at once. So I just use the other pencil to just, try to tone it down a bit. So I'm taking the same pencil and I'm applying into the sparse areas of the other brow. As you can see, like what I was saying to you guys, that sometimes the pencil just applies a little bit too much. So that's why sometimes when I store it, I just store it upright. I don't point the tip downwards, because once you do that, the minute you start applying, all the ink just goes into your brows at once. So yeah, I'm just applying everything in slight strokes, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did to the other brow. Now I'm just checking if there are still any areas that still need to be filled. I'm going to be using the other brow pencil, not the tip liner from Essence. I'm going to be using this one that doesn't have a name yet, and I'm just going to be filling in those areas that still need to be filled in. I like this one because it has a very tiny tip and it's not liquidy, so it just helps to just fill in those areas without dispersing a lot of product. So I've filled in the brows and I'm happy with the way they look. So I'm just going to be using a spoolie once again to just shape everything. And to make sure that my brow stays in place. Yes, I did apply the glue, but I just want to give it a little bit of a volume. So I'm using a clear gel to just brush everything into place as well and just make sure that my brows are nice and straight and shaped. So this brow will just help to do that, give a little bit of fluffiness and a little bit of volume instead of having your brows flattened down. It'll just give that appearance that your brows are just not flat. They have a little bit of volume and shape. Because the gel leaves a sort of a white residue on my skin, I use the micellar water, the Neutrogena micellar water, to just clean everything up using a cotton bud or an earbud. So you just clean everything off and just be careful not to clean, your brows off because the product is going to come off. So you just shape them. You can even use them as, if you don't like using a concealer, you can just use the micellar water to just give your brows a shape. So just make sure that you don't get the micellar water into your brows because it's going to get rid of that color that you've just added. For those that like to conceal their brows just to give it more definition, I'm just going to be showing you here using a Wet n Wild concealer on a very flat brush. So I'm just going to be using a little bit of product because I do not want to use a lot. You can use as much as you want depending on how you want your brows to stand out. So you just use that and you just draw a slight line underneath. I'm using the same on top because it's a very dark color. I don't like very light brows. So I'm just going to use the dark color to just shape everything out. Unfortunately, I had to keep my glasses on for this one because I was having difficulty just applying the concealer without them. So I'm doing the same to the other brow and I'm just giving it a little bit of shape and more definition. I think you can see the difference from when I didn't apply the concealer and now that I've applied the concealer. And this is how they look. So you just clean them up as you like. And this is how they look once I've done everything. So just guys, let me know if you're going to be trying this new updated method of doing your brows. And if you already are doing it, let me know in the comment section how you apply it. So I got a little bit excited and carried away and I decided to just add, a little bit of makeup products just to make the whole look complete. So here I'm just applying the foundation, the concealer, and just blending everything in. And I'm just blending out the concealer to just help brighten up my under eye area. And I'm just setting everything with a compact powder, not a setting powder, just a normal compact powder, because this is just a soft look. It's just to make you guys see how it looks, everything, when I've done the brows. And this is just to contour my face a little bit and give it a little bit of shape and color so it doesn't look flat. If your brows look a little bit shiny, just use some powder over them. And I'm just going in with some mascara, a lipstick, and just a lighter lipstick color. And yeah, this is the final look. Let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoy this